I couldn't grasp the concept of female slaves in Islam. It's hard to believe that as an advocate for decency and justice, I am supposed to go ravage a village, take a woman against her will, force myself on her, sleep with her, and then expect her son to convert to Islam willingly. How could I force myself to accept this belief? This is the doctrine I was required to study. I was required to accept and study it. For instance, imagine I'm a Christian and a Muslim army marches in, taking my mother, a Christian woman, as a captive. She is reduced to a servant, violated at night, and I, as her Christian son, am expected to convert to Islam while witnessing my mother's honor being tarnished. We as Muslims have this issue, though we don't measure tragedies against ourselves. So you can't expect a young man whose mother was violated before his eyes because she is a Christian or Jewish to simply accept Islam after he hears her screams at night. Yet you would tell him, by Allah, this religion contains many truths. Religious men often hide many of these issues. For instance, they believe that a female slave's private parts extend from her navel to her knees. It's totally acceptable for them that a woman walks around baring her chest for all to see. This is present in our jurisprudence books, but they avoid discussing the topic. It's there in the Sharia law books, rulings about animal sacrifices, young boys, and many other controversial topics. Yet they discourage us from talking about these matters. They will tell you not to show these topics to the public. They say it's not appropriate to expose them to diversity of opinion. Hand them down a single point of view. We have devastating issues within religious books, and they are there in abundance, but they choose not to argue or display them to the public. The moment you disclose them, they accuse you of spreading doubt about Islam. But this is available in the Islamic literature. In the Islamic books, there are narrations about the Prophet praying at his wives, all 9 of them, and taking a bath. And also narrations where the Prophet ties a rock to his stomach due to hunger. Why are they scared of the people's reactions? Clerics hide 90% of these issues and are genuinely scared of revealing them. I have always wished that extremists would come out and issue religious edicts to the public. It won't persist because we didn't inherit a tradition full of calamitous issues. Imagine, for instance, you ask someone, what would the ruling be if a Muslim kills a Christian in his own country? What do you think he would answer, Abu Sulaiman? He would likely say, he won't smell the fragrance of heaven, but he won't stay in hell forever. He will ultimately enter heaven, but he shouldn't be killed. Why? Because he's a Muslim. You can't kill him. Suppose I went to Europe and a Christian killed me. The judge merely fines him and prohibits his execution. Why? Because he's a Christian. How do you feel about that? We only measure situations that are to our advantage. We don't consider their perspective. They say you can't build churches in Arab countries, calling you a mercenary or an infidel. Yet we demand to build mosques in Europe and get upset when denied.